Yo, what's going on everybody? In today's video, I'll be talking about analog instruments for like Ferrari, like this one for example. Before we start the video, please make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it. So pretty much you have to stick around and focus with what I'm gonna say because understanding the idea or explaining the idea will be kind of hard. Okay, I'll give you that. So there is something in these dummies, okay? So as you can see, I have already set it up, or at least this car is from Kunos, so it's already set up, but I will redo it just for the video. So when you're in game, okay, and when you rev the engine, the arrow should go up like that, right? That's because this dummy is facing a specific way, or like positioned in a specific way, so the game understands when the engine is revving, this arrow should go up and not go left or like some weird shit, you know. So you have to make the dummy facing a specific way to avoid this headache. I can recommend you, which is the only way, besides that, you making the dummy yourself, trying to somehow figure out what direction is it. So in this case, just get a pre-existing dummy from one of the Kunos cars that have analog gauges and just take whatever one of these, it doesn't really matter. You can change the size, you can move it, but do not rotate it other than like let me show you quick. So if you go to the rotation and click on local over here, view the local, do not rotate it anything other than this green or red, yeah, this green one that rotates the arrow like that. Do not rotate it like right or nothing, just leave it the way it is, and I'll show you how to put the dummy on the arrow and make it functional in game. So assuming you have imported the arrow, for me I like to make it smaller, like it fits the size of the arrow. So then I like to select the arrow model itself with the dummy, then right click and hide unselected. After that, click on the arrow, the dummy, sorry, zoom in on the arrow, then click shift A and click on the arrow itself. There we go, as you can see. So this should be centered, this dummy should be centered in the middle over here. If it's not, if it's like somewhere here, no, this shouldn't be like that. Change the view to local in the move, and then move that up until it's in the center of the arrow. This is very important, do not fuck this up. Otherwise, your dummy will rotate something like that. That is definitely not what you want. This middle part should not move at all. What I mean by that, let's move that to the middle like that. Okay, there we go. Let's rotate it. As you can see, this middle part is like kinda static, you could say. Make sure, if you go to rotation and set this to local as well, this should be facing the same way the arrow is. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Either it's going to rotate something like this, which is it's weird, okay? Just make sure you don't fuck this up, otherwise you're gonna spend hours trying to figure out what's the issue. Other than that, it's absolutely fine, okay? That's all what you have. Now that we are done with the complicated part, let's move on to the easy part, which is the names, okay? So something very important with the names is that the game will not find out which one is RPM and which one is speed without the names. So by default, arrow underscore RPM tells the game that this is the RPM arrow. You have to name it the same way. The caps, the underscore, and literally the same thing. Note it down. This is very important too, okay? Same thing goes for the speed. Okay, if you want to add a turbo one, just duplicate the dummy and change the speed or the RPM to turbo, and that's pretty much it. And same thing goes for for example, the temperature. You call that water temperature, for example, like that. I hope I did not misspell it, but the list goes on. All right, so I will link in my Discord. I will leave the names, okay, so you can go there and check these names out and see which one is for the arrow you want. And that is pretty much all what you have to do in 3ds Max or Blender or whatever it is for you. Alright, so after we exported the car, let's go to showroom and check out the arrow and see if there are no bugs. And as you can see, this looks absolutely fine, okay? Also, this is the last complicated thing, okay? In the data folder, you're going to have a file called analog instrument. Now this is like the old way. There are two ways to get this. If you're lazy, you don't have to use this one. I can show you how to do that using extension config, which is the easier method, because I'm honestly I never use this piece of garbage. I'll be honest with you. I always use the extension config for everything, except for like the, you could say, the oil temperature or the fuel. I don't know what values you should put for that. I just use the analog instrument in this case. But for RPM, I never used analog instruments, this specific file. But also, I'll link these in my Discord so you can check them out and see if they work for you, which one is for your arrow. In case you wanted to use the analog instrument, in the object name, you should add the dummy's name. So in my case, this one is RPM indicator. In the object name, I'll add arrow underscore RPM, the same way it's written in my 3ds Max, okay? Same goes for speed and other arrows. That's pretty much it. That easy. So that's the analog instrument file, the data file method. So in this GitHub extension config Wikipedia, if we go to this analog instrument, I'll leave that in the description, no Discord this time. If you scroll down, you can see analog indicator RPM, same thing, name, which is arrow RPM. Input max is like what is the max that the arrow should rev to. So in this case, it's showing 8,200. Okay, let's look at it in game. What is the max for this thing? It's 9,000 to be exact. Honestly, this looks like 9,000. Okay, so let's copy this guy over here. Make sure you have an extension config, but this is a Kunos car, so I don't have it. Let me just real quick create that. There we go. So I'll paste that over here. Let's see. And as you can see, it's going way beyond that. So how to fix it is actually very simple. So you have the 0 and the step, okay? The idle RPM is around 1,200, you could say, so somewhere around these numbers. So in my case, I'll put the step a bit down, okay? And let's rev that up. Okay, that's too much. Let's lay that on 2 and change that to like 6. The 3, let's change that to 6. That's exactly like how it was, kinda. I'm honestly not gonna try it. For the sake of the video and for the time of the video, I'll leave it the way it is. And this is all what you have to do. Same goes for the speed. Yeah, I pretty much recommend you trying to figure out how does the extension config analog instrument work, because I only use it for RPM and speed. I pretty much never used it for a water instrument or any of that. So if you have time and you're willing to learn it, just take a look at this over here and see how does it work, pretty much. And it's that easy. I hope so. Alright, that is for this video, guys. I hope if you did not understand, feel free to join my Discord and spam the living fuck out of me. I have no issues, because I'll give you that this video was very hard to explain. Honestly, this specific topic is something that it's easy to learn, but like trying to give the idea to someone of how that works is kinda complicated, I'll be honest. So this was not easy. So again, feel free to join my Discord, and if you have any issues, I'll be happy to help. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe for more, of course. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.